Good. I'm Mark Winston, CEO of the Prince George's County Memorial Library System. I couldn't be more pleased to welcome you to the renovated Surratts-Clinton Branch Library. Before we begin our program, I would like to introduce Reverend Kirk Freeman of the Davies Unitarian Universalist Congregation, who will be providing the invocation.
Thank you, Dr. Winston. As we sat down, I asked my neighbor in the seat what his role was here, and he said, well, he's the CEO of the library system. And it turns out we're both relatively new in our jobs. I serve the Davies Unitarian Universalist Congregation, which is just up Temple Hills Road, and we were pleased to offer a pop-up location for the library during construction, and it's an honor to be here today. Will you join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation or contemplation, whatever is your tradition? Spirit of life and love, God of many names, source of knowledge and wisdom. It is a beautiful day to be here, celebrating this public building, this house of knowledge. May all who enter here find a place of welcome, refuge, and community. May they find whatever they seek, whether it's connection, service, support, or answers. May all who enter also find new questions to ask and ideas to consider. We are all here today blessed to be a part of the celebration, and may we continue to be a blessing on this library through our continued presence, support, with gratitude for this time together and the possibility that this library represents, we say, amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Freeman. There are a number of people I'd like to recognize as we begin our program, a number of honored guests who are joining us on this occasion. First, I'll introduce Dr. Sanmi Ariola, Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Prince George's County. Representing District 9, County Council Vice Chair, Sidney Harrison. Also like to recognize members of the Library System's Board of Trustees. Our chair and vice chair were not able to be with us today, but I'll recognize them, Angela Smith and Sylvia Bolivar. Here with us today, board member Brett Crawford. Board member Robert Fernandez. Not sure if board member Tony Smith is with us yet. And board member Dr. Arthur E. Wright. We also have a number of members of the Library Systems Foundation Board who are here today. Joanne Jackson. Tracy Simpson. Vernon Ware, Karen Anadol. I'm not sure if Shannon Mountain is here with us yet. Okay. We are fortunate to have a number of honored guests from our state delegation who are joining us on this occasion. Delegate Kent Roberson. Delegate Roberts here with us as well. Delegate Denise Roberts. Okay. Delegate Jamila J. Woods. and later who will be speaking on behalf of the delegation, Delegate Karen Tolles. Are there any other elected officials or representatives who would like them to stand to be recognized as well? We also have a number of representatives from Prince George's County, Office of the County Executive, Ariane Olber, Committee Chair for the Committee for Education and Workforce Development. And DeWitt Abraham, Director of the Department of Permitting, Inspections, and Enforcement. We also have a number of members of the nonprofit and library communities as well. Walter Simmons, President and CEO of Employ Prince George's. Not sure. Josh Stone, Executive Director of Maryland Library Association. I don't see Josh. And Skip Auld, Chief Executive Officer, Anne Arundel County Public Library. Thank you. So this event is really personal for me for multiple reasons. I've been CEO of the library system for just under 3 months. And upon my arrival, as individuals said, welcome, we're glad you're here, we hope you have a good experience, there was always a slight pause. And then the first question was, when is Surratts-Clinton going to? So there have been twists and turns in this process. So to be here today in this beautiful facility really represents quite an accomplishment. As a matter of fact, it has taken 5 years from closure to when we reopened to the public on March the 4th. As a result, we're really happy to host this grand opening ceremony as members. And as you see, the branch opens at 10 a.m. So as we're holding this ceremony, there are members of the community who are actively using the library at this moment. I would like to acknowledge the important role of library staff and administrators who work actively to understand the needs of their communities. And certainly it's true in this branch where staff actively work with members of the community, often knowing the names of customers who use the library regularly, and work daily to help our residents meet their information needs. In this particular location, on the opening day, March 4th, there were more than 600 visits to this location. Among those visitors were several local leaders, including District 9 school board member Lolita Walker and her 11-year-old son, Eric Bowman and LaShawn Preman from Vice Chair and District 9 Council Member Sidney Harrison's office, and many, many others. I would also say that since the time the branch reopened on March the 4th, there have been 8,400 visits to this location. Wow. To say just a little bit more about that opening day, we had visits from community members from all over the county. One resident from Fort Washington, Constance Wilson, who had began homeschooling her children, Victoria, age 13, and Jonathan, age 11, during the pandemic. She told us on that day that the library has become a big part of her children's learning journey, taking advantage of winter and summer reading programs, crocheting classes for her daughter Victoria, and tools to help build her son Jonathan's reading skills beyond grade level. The family also makes it a point to visit a new library system branch on a regular basis, and their visit to this location got them one step closer to making it to every single one of the 19 branches. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the staff and leadership of the county's Office for Central Services, but also library system project manager Sarah Mitchell, who I don't believe is here with us today, and Michael Gannon, who many of you will know, former chief operating officer for the library system, who are really responsible for overseeing the success of this renovation. So I don't want to take credit, and I also don't want to take too much time on our program because we have a number of other people who are going to speak with us today. I'll say just a little bit about our order of program as we proceed. Dr. Ariola will be speaking on behalf of the Office of the County Executive. Council Member Sidney Harrison on behalf of the County Council. Delegate Karen Tolles on behalf of the state delegation, Maryland General Assembly. Brett Crawford on behalf of the Board of Library Trustees. Megan Sutherland, Interim Chief Operating Officer for Public Services, will be speaking, as well as Keisha Mason, Director of Marketing and Communications for the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. So I'll say to you just two last things. Welcome to this location. We look forward to seeing you here, and to members of the community as we support your learning, your growth, and we hope that you thrive here. Also, while you're here, please be sure to take a tour of the building. The library staff, all of whom have name tags on, will be happy to show you around as well. So it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sanmi Ariola.
Good morning, everyone. This is a beautiful facility, and really grateful Dr. Winston and his team for allowing me to take a tour of the facility. This really is an exciting day for Prince George's County and for the town of Clinton as we celebrate the Surratts-Clinton Branch Library's official ribbon cutting. I bring greetings on behalf of our county executive, Angela Alsobrooks, who unfortunately could not be with us today. And I want to take a few moments to acknowledge a few people that are in attendance. Thank you to PGCMLS ECO, Dr. Mark Winston. Thank you. That's okay. Yeah. Thank you to the PGCMLS Board of Library Trustees member, Brett Crawford, and the entire Board of Library Trustees. Thank you to the Surratts-Clinton Library staff for all the work that you do. I also want to thank County Council Vice Chair Sidney Harrison for being with us today, as well as Maryland General Assembly District 25 delegate Karen Tolles and all other Maryland General Assembly members in attendance this morning. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Kirk Freeman, for that wonderful invocation. And we want to applaud GMT Construction, D&A Contractors, MSR, and AS Architects for the ideas they had for this building and the work that went into making them a reality. Thank you as well to the Prince George's County Office of Central Services. I don't see Jonathan or any, but they do a terrific job putting this together, the CIP team. And thank you all of you, both here and those that are watching online. You all know that this has been a long process from start to finish, longer than anyone expected, but we knew how important it was to get this done. Finishing this project was important because of the significance libraries have in our communities. They are our essential sources of information and history. They are environments that promote curiosity. We know that neighborhoods with libraries experience increased literacy rates, and that our libraries provide so many resources and services that can help residents of all ages develop new skills. This branch has been all of that and more for Clinton since 1980 when it was first built. It became clear a few years ago that the facilities needed to be renovated and upgraded so the library could best serve the community. Through all the setbacks, everyone stayed focused on the goal, and now as we look around and see the completed work, we can all agree that it was worth the wait and worth the effort. Over the last few years, we've had a number of occasions to celebrate the grand opening of a new library building, and they're always fun experiences. You can feel the excitement in the air, and today is no exception. The community was so excited that they jumped at the chance to get in here before we could officially cut the ribbon on the building. And with all these new amenities, it's easy to see why they couldn't wait. There is the new computer lab and all of the new public computers. There is the 25,000 square feet that can accommodate large groups, the vending cafe, and the fireplace. We can point out our favorite parts of the vision that the designers and architects had for this building, like the Chesapeake Bay themed area for the young kids and teens, or the comfort room for nursing mothers. Maybe yours is the mosaic artwork that welcomes you into the building, funded in partnership with the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council's Art in Public Places program. Or maybe it's the large windows that bring in the natural light and offer views of the surrounding neighborhood. I can tell you that was beautiful, just the light coming in. All of these examples are part of a building that is wonderfully put together. But as beautiful as it is, the building itself isn't what makes a library complete. The people are what breathe life into it. This library is made up by staff who do not only have the expertise, but the willingness to help. It is the librarians who pour their hearts into their work and now know how to tailor their knowledge to best meet specific needs. It's the community's young kids who come in to enjoy learning outside of the classroom, and the teens who can't wait to use their imaginations to escape into a new book. It's the educators who come to show exhibits about the county they are so proud to be a part of. It's the community groups who come in to learn about different topics and leave learning more about their fellow residents. You all are the reasons this design emphasized capturing as much of the region and community as they could in the design. You're all what hold the library together. You are why this branch could continue on even through extended delays and temporary relocation to another building. You are why this administration has been intentional about supporting and funding our library system, because when we invest in our libraries, we're able to provide an environment that is specifically set up for you to learn and to grow. And I want to thank the PGCMLS team again for making sure our libraries are welcoming to the whole community. You make our libraries feel like home, so our residents don't feel like outsiders. And the program, services, and outreach activities are tailored to serve anyone who comes in. The excitement for this grand opening shows how successful you have been in making this a welcome place. This building has so much to offer, but all the work that went into this would do no good if our residents did not feel welcome to enter these doors. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who has played a part in supporting this project. And I know the residents of Clinton will enjoy this place for many years to come. Thank you all. I will now, on behalf of the county executive, present the proclamation. I will not be reading through it. I will present it a little bit lengthy, but most of the messages you've heard from her message to you. So I assume Dr. Makwisi will be accepting this. So on behalf of the county executive, the proclamation for the opening of the new library branch. Thank you all.
Good morning. Today is a day that the Clinton community gets to celebrate the evolution of community. Pastor spoke about this is a place where love and light exist. And when we think about our community and how special Prince George's County is, how special District 9 is, and how special the Clinton community is, this is a place where today we can celebrate. I'm often reminded, since I've been in public service, about the importance that everyone plays in a process. You heard of, from the other speakers, about partnership and how everyone has a role in our community to ensure that we continue to move our community forward. And when we look at the Clinton Surratts Library, I'm just in awe knowing that in 1980, as a 6-year-old boy, I used to come here. And now today in 2024, 40 years later, at once this land was owned by the Piscataway Nation, how we have evolved as a community. It is very important that we celebrate today, so that deserves a round of applause if we could do that. And before I thank my colleagues about this partnership that was formed, I want to make sure that we give a loud round of applause for an individual that was a dedicated employee here for so many years. And her name was Miss Sadie Atkinson. Sadie was dedicated to the evolution of our scholars and how they grew on their journey in life. And one of the things that the library offers is a bench in just remembering the work and the love and the sacrifice and the dedication and the compassion that Miss Atkinson showed our community. So for that, I am so grateful that we don't forget the past and the present and the future. I also want to take a moment to thank, there's a community leader in the room that made sure that was supposed to happen, that we honored Miss Atkinson, and that's Miss Pat O'Neill. Miss O'Neill, she worked with our District 9 office, the Prince George's County Memorial Library Systems, to ensure that was memorialized, and we thank you all for really working with the community to ensure that we're able to do that. As the Vice Chair of the Council, we understand how important CIP projects are, the County Council. If you look at the dedication and the investment under the Brooks administration, you will see that there's been an investment into the CIP to ensuring that we create 21st century state-of-the-art Prince George's County Memorial Library systems and how we update that infrastructure. And then when we think about our partners that work in the state, in the General Assembly, and we think about the CIP projects during the budget process this time, the partnerships are real. They're crucial to the success and the evolution of our county. And I want to thank our state partners. I see Delegate Roberts, Delegate Woods, Delegate Roberson, Kent Roberson, and then my good friend, Ms. Karen Toles. Out of the $211 million worth of CIP projects that was asked during this last legislative session, they were able, along with the county executive, to deliver $196 million for Prince George's County. So the partnerships are real. And And I want to take an opportunity to thank these individuals. We have Mr. Mark Winston, who's the Chief Executive Officer. You just heard from him. I call him, we got a nickname for him. It's called Turnkey, because since he's been on the job, he's opening up buildings. I want to thank the county executive for her commitment, never wavering, and her dedication to ensuring that today's like today happen. I also want to thank my good friend Karen Tolles. Karen, you know that you've been on the county council. You understand. You've been in the state delegation as well, and your sacrifice and dedication to public service over the last 2 decades, that deserves a round of applause. I'm not saying I got more white hair than you. And then we have Miss Megan Sutherland, Interim Chief Operating Officer for the Public Schools, Public Services, Prince George's County Memorial Library System. And then we have Keisha Mason representing the Arts and Humanity Council, Prince George's County. Director Rhonda Dallas is standing here as well. When you walk into this library, you see inclusiveness, you see partnerships, you see every aspect of life that's represented here today. You see, if you look in the ceilings, you'll see access panelings that's made of wood that represents our nature and our forestry. When you walk in, you see the open space, free air flowing. You also see a 25,268 square foot building that's been totally innovative of 21st century infrastructures. We have a children area discovery bay. We have art to remind us the roles that the arts and humanity play in our evolution as a community and how it brings all of us together. You also understand that technology is part of our innovation as we move forward. So you have 60 public computers in a computer lab, and you have the capacity to have over 35,000 books located right here. And so when we look at these new branch amenities, I am proud to say that we owe a round of appreciation and thank you to the community, because the community's voice was heard in this process. Councilmember Franklin, who was the prior council member for District 9, the at-large council member, Councilmember Hawkins, myself, this process started about 7 to 8 years ago. We're talking about a $7.1 million investment into Clinton. And I remember my first days on the council making sure that this CIP project was pushed forward. And we are here today. And so the partnerships, the sacrifice, the dedication, the contributions of many of you in this room, I just wanted to stand before you to say, thank you. Thank you. This is what access and equity and equality looks like. And our future generations will prosper because of the sacrifices and contributions that each of you made here today. So thank you so much.
Well, I need y'all to be excited. Okay, everybody look like they're awake, stretch it out. This is exciting times because you all was calling the office. I know you were calling my colleagues in District 25 to open this library. So you are excited, right? Yes, we're good. Well, first, I want to thank the library system for the renovations. And as I indicated, it's finally done. I know that, we were all getting calls. This is District 25, and so I'm, here, to represent our district and talk about how we've been getting these calls and just delighted to be here. And so I, again, want to recognize my colleagues at the state level, delegates, Kent Roberson, and a Clinton resident, and delegates Denise Robertson, who represents this area. Just please stand and wave. You all call them, don't call me, because they're the junior delegates. So I want to put them to work. Stand up and raise your hand so people know who represent them in this area. Can we say Hayes? I'm gonna put them to work a little bit because as Sydney indicated, it wasn't quite 2 decades, but about 15 years in public service.
Got to round up.
Okay, for the next gig, I get it. And of course, my dear friend and colleague, Delegate Jamila Woods, who's right next door in District 26. And a Clinton resident, see how we share these communities. Please stand so if they don't get Delegates Roberson and Roberts, they can call you. And, you know, I would be remiss if I did not stand up here and ask that we give a resounding round of applause to Michael Gannon, who was my bestie. Stand up, Michael. You are to be applauded. He was my bestie when I was on the county council, and I had a few, and I tell people, you be nice and kind to the individuals who do the hard work. People elect us, but it's the staff and those who are involved, the administration, who put the work in to have our vision come forward. And I know I bugged you a lot of times about a lot of projects, and you came through every single time. So thank you so much. I wanted to do that while I had the microphone. Of course, I want to thank our dynamic county executive, Angela Alston-Brooks, for her commitment to continue these projects as I was getting ready to say Delegate Councilmember Harrison mentioned, these projects can take 8 years, 6, 7 years to get done for whatever reason. COVID happened during the time of this project, and so it takes time. And so I want to thank her for her unwavering commitment to continue these projects forward and to continue what we started. As a Marylander, and as someone who was raised in Prince George's like myself, the county executive knows how important it is, the library system is to our community. And so, you know, I know Michael and others who've been here when I was on the council heard me talk about many times how I visited the libraries. You all, I don't even know, do you still have card catalogs? I don't know, but you need them because people need to know how to not use Google. I'm telling my age, you know, but it's how long it's been, 20 years, but them things work, y'all. I still can find what you're looking for. And it's the library staff who make sure, you know, the card catalog is back in order the way that you wanted it, the way, you know, it is supposed to be. You know, I came studying research, applied to college and applied for scholarships. Being in the library, my best friend was valedictorian, and so she actually dragged me to the library with her so that we can prepare ourselves post high school. And as was indicated by our individual during the meditation, I sincerely hope that new questions and new ideas will come from those who walk through this beautiful library. I know it did. You know, I would be, you know, remiss if I didn't say my mother dragged us to the library. So my parents instilled that in us. And my niece and nephews, particularly my niece, loves the library because of what my sister has instilled in her. And so it's generational. When you take your children to the library, it carries on. And so it is a real big investment for generations in our community. Finally, I need to shout out my dear friend and link sister, Rhonda Dallas. Thank you, Rhonda, for your incredible commitment. Let's give her a round of applause. Stand, Rhonda, yes, for her commitment, you all, commitment. And we put money in the budget this year at the state level to fund the Arts Council so they can continue the work that they are doing with public art. And she is dedicated and committed to having public art all over Prince George's County. So every time they open a building, it's public art. And it's the opportunities to showcase local artists from Prince George's County, which is extremely important. And we have art in the Prince George's wing as well. And so art is a big, importance to our community. So thank you, Rhonda. And so I just finally ask that to the community, it's open. I want you all to pack this library out. I want you all to wear the staff out. Sorry. I think they just negotiated to join the union. So if they work a little hour, sorry. I don't know. I'm not on the council. So, spend all the money. I'm just saying, go ahead and pay them. Because I want people seeing me saying, shh. I think we just passed something where they could unionize. So look, I want them to be so tired because the community has packed this place out. It is a safe haven. Sorry, they laughing up here. It is a safe haven, a place for the community to go. And so you've been waiting for it. Let's support it. And thank you all for all you're doing. And let's spend a lot of time in here with the residents of Prince George's County. Thank you. Spend the money. Check it out.
3.8%.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. My name is Brett Crawford, and I am very pleased to welcome you all here on behalf of the Board of Library Trustees of Tony. We did introductions earlier of the board members here. We have Robert Fernandez. We also have Tony Smith, another board member who is here. So I don't think any of the others are here, which is unfortunate. They did want to be here, and so I got nominated to give these remarks, but I'm so happy to because this is in fact my local branch. I live in Clinton, and so it is so wonderful for me to be able to come back here. This is my first time in the branch since it has opened. I've been trying to get here for weeks since it opened in early March, but I haven't been able to, and it is a wonderful transformation, and I just am so happy to welcome you all here. There is a tremendous amount of enthusiasm. Delegate Tolles surely demonstrated a lot of that enthusiasm, but she also really was referring to the community's, just eagerness to get back in this building. I've learned from staff that the library system's social media accounts spiked tremendously when the announcement went out that this branch was finally reopening. One of the busiest sort of social media days in the history of this library system was about this branch. I learned this morning from some of the staff who are working here that on the day the branch reopened on March 4th, I believe, there was a backlog of people. I think, if I remember correctly, I was told about 500 people who had waited to get their library cards. Wow. They didn't want to go to another branch. They wanted to come to this one. They wanted that sense of place, that sense of identity, that sense of home that a local branch provided to them. And they did, in fact, do what Delegate Tolles said. They made the staff work. 500 people in one day to get new library cards is a lot. And so the staff were very humorously telling me that story, but I view it as an indication of just how deep the passion for this library is in the community and how, I guess, pent up that demand was. I know from my perspective, I've been really eager to get back here. That enthusiasm is wonderful. I said, this is my local branch. I used to bring my daughters here when they were much younger. They're a lot older now, but this is where they first encountered the amazing children's books by Mo Willems, the Gerald and Piggy books. Some of you may know them if you have small children. And so today I look back on that and think, to what extent is the library responsible for the somewhat warped sense of humor my daughters have these days? But it's a good thing. If you know those books, yes, the humor's a little warped, but it is just delightful and fun. And they discovered that here. And it just makes me think of all the different discoveries that other people, kids, older people, anybody can find here in the library system. The library's most valuable resource is you. You've heard that from some of the other people up here this morning. That includes staff. It includes the public, the patrons, the people who use the services and programs and other resources the library provides. It includes the partners that the library has in the community. And I do want to single out the Davies Unitarian Universalist Congregation and Reverend Freeman, thank you. It was mentioned earlier that during COVID and also during the reconstruction process here, we did have a satellite branch. It was small, but it was present. And the church very graciously hosted that little satellite location to ensure that the library would have a presence in this part of the county, because this is a large part of the county, and in terms of geographic space. And when this branch closed down, anybody who lived in this immediate vicinity had to go a long distance. You had to go to Accokeek, you had to maybe go down to Baden, or you had to go to Oxon Hill, which is a little bit out of the way for some people. And I happen to live kind of right in the middle, sort of the dead zone when this branch closed down, which made it a challenge to get to the library a lot of times. So the fact that there was that satellite location that was made available is something that we are very, very grateful that was provided. I also think back on the process of opening this branch, and it's kind of a nice bookend for me, because I joined the Board of Trustees 8 years ago. And at that time, one of the very first board meetings I remember, there was a presentation about the renovations for this branch. The public listening sessions had completed, all of the feedback had been gathered and sort of put into a series of architectural designs and other kind of use cases for the library that would say, this is what the transformation of this branch is going to look like. And we got that presentation at that board meeting, and I thought, wow, this is great. You know, the library is going to be, this branch is going to be a much more versatile type of location for the community. It's going to be able to serve a much wider range of needs for the community. And provide a much better foundation, or building block for whatever the community needs in the future. That versatility, that flexibility, that was built into the design when the renovations were made. Fast forward 8 years, which is more years than any of us expected it would take to get to this point. And the bookend is that I'm now rolling off the board. So I will be leaving the board sometime probably in the next couple of months. And so coming up to this point, there was always this question, am I going to be able to see the branch open while I'm still on the board? And I'm so happy to be able to say yes. And it has been just a wonderful privilege and pleasure to serve on the board and to see the progress that the library system has made over the last 8 years. And I look forward to many, many, many more years of that in the future. So again, on behalf of the board, thank you very much. And I will now turn it over to Megan, who will talk more about what the library is going to be doing.
Well, good afternoon now. I'm Megan Sutherland, the library's Interim Chief Operating Officer for Public Services. I'm absolutely delighted to be here today with you and to welcome you to this beautiful space. We have already begun offering story times, which I think we heard one of our young customers out there, as well as programs for larger audiences in our new Discovery Bay themed children's area. There you will find a lighthouse, a wall, mural of animals and fish of the Chesapeake Bay, seagulls flying from the ceiling, nautical-themed furniture, and perhaps the best feature of all, sailboat-shaped reading nooks. They look so cozy, and I know our young customers are loving them. The space also includes a comfort room for parents and caregivers. Listening to community feedback, which was vital, we now have more study rooms, including those in the children's space, as well as our fully enclosed teen zone. Children can stop by for story time and STEM programs, while our teens can enjoy the manga and anime club or teen game night. Larger events such as the local author expo on June 1st will be taking place in this room right here, as well as our branch's conference room. With leaders recognizing a need for expanded internet access in the community, the new branch includes over 60 computers for the public and a computer lab that will serve as an instructional space for our Computer Basics program that assists customers with using their computers, tablets, and smartphones. The new branch has many features, a new vending cafe and a fireplace. We're going to hear more about the beautiful stained glass mosaic by Carrie Dean depicting views of the Chesapeake Bay. This piece was funded in partnership with the Prince George's County Arts and Humanities Council's Art in Public Places program. You'll hear more about this incredible artwork from our next speaker. A big thank you to AS Architects for all of their hard work in helping to transform this library. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank Michael Gannon, our former Chief Operating Officer for Support Services, who was so involved in the process of planning and designing the renovations here and working with the architects to make that vision a reality. Thank you, Michael. She couldn't join us today, but Michael was assisted by Sarah Mitchell, our project manager, who helped to ensure that we crossed the finish line in completing this renovation. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our staff for their patience and dedication throughout the process of reopening this branch and serving our customers. Every single department of the library system contributed to this renovation and grand opening, including our administrative staff, buildings and grounds teams, central maintenance, communication, finances, IT, logistics, materials management, program services, talent and culture, public service and support services. It truly is a team effort. I would like you to take note that our Prince George's Room staff have curated a selection of photographs and articles from throughout the years, including the original opening of the building in 1980. It's located out by our service desk, so please take a look at that while you're here today. And the true heart of any library is its staff. So I'd like to take this moment to recognize our amazing Surratts-Clinton team, who are guided by our South Area Director, Mulaney Townsend-Diggs. You will see most of them throughout the building today in their teal shirts. They are Gail Dotson, Jessica Gordon-Young, Marinda Moody, James Phelps, Brandon Previtt, Marsha Quarles, Linwood Robinson, Lauren Roots, and Brianna Williams. And I want to take a special moment to recognize our pre-renovation Surratts-Clinton staff who worked tirelessly over the past 4 years of the branch's closure to maintain those close ties to the community through services and programs at our pop-up, continued outreach, and they did all of that while working at our other branch locations during the closure. So Janice Ball, Rita Flames, Shannon Young, and Mary Keatsman, a special thank you to you as well. And throughout the years, the Surratts-Clinton branch has been blessed with so many devoted staff members, one of whom was Sadie Atkinson, who retired in 2011 after decades of service to the library system. There's a bench dedicated in Sadie's honor outside, and we thank the many community members who were touched by Sadie's commitment and suggested this honor. We were so happy to collaborate with you. And now I would like to invite our next speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keisha Mason. I am the Director of Marketing Communications for the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. And through our Art in Public Places program and in collaboration with the Prince George's County Memorial Library System, we commission the public art here. But before I get started, I definitely want to acknowledge the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council CEO and Chief Curator, Rhonda Dallas, whose passion and dedication and commitment to public art it leads us to this artwork that we have here. We believe at the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council that art the power of art transforms communities. It engages residents, it invites people in, and it also encourages discourse, important discourse. So as you are touring the space, we want you to be sure to experience the public art here. And so I'm going to share more about the artwork Reminisce by artist Carrie Dean. And as a public artist, Carrie strives to capture the unique character of a region, creating a welcome ambiance and promote a sense of pride of place. She has a background as an oil painter, and her contemporary mosaics are unusual and break the normal convention of mosaic art. And her art has been described as paintings in glass, and they're well suited for public spaces. In fact, her glass mosaics are safe, they're low maintenance, long-lasting, and all-inclusive. And her work introduces color and subtle light reflections while complementing the existing architectural features. And so with her artwork, it depicts the views, of the shoreline of Calvert Cliff State Park overlooking the Chesapeake Bay. And so we have commissioned a number of the public artworks at the newly renovated library systems. And one thing that you can notice about those art pieces is that they each reflect the individual community that those branch libraries are in. Personally, this is an exciting opening because my family moved from Forestville to Clinton in my junior year of high school. So the Surratts-Clinton Branch Library was critical in my high school years. I remember coming here and the staff assisting me and helping me do my research papers, using the card catalogs. I'm exposing my age. I remember my computer. I don't know if you all have your specific area that you love to go to when you visit your library. So I remember the distinct location that every time I step foot into the Surratts-Clinton Branch Library, where I like to sit and use the computer. So being here today is a personal thing for me, and I'm just very encouraged. And we hope that the artwork inspires all of our residents from years to come. So we want to thank you for having us and allowing us to speak. And we are incredibly honored to commission the public artwork for the new Surratts-Clinton Branch Library. Thank you.
And we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge PEPCO here this afternoon for their assistance with this project. And it's my pleasure to introduce Stephanie Barone. She is the Deputy Director for Congressman Steny Hoyer, and she's sharing congratulations on behalf of the Congressman. Stephanie?
Thank you. I know I'm the last speaker between the ribbon cutting, so I'll be very brief. I am very honored to be here, and there's a couple reasons for that. And there's a couple of things that I know that I want to share. I know that the Surratts-Clinton branch is going to be the best branch because my nephew works here, Brandon. Yep, that's Brandon right there. Yeah, I'm just really proud. I'm really proud of him. And the other reason that I'm so honored and proud to be here, and another thing I know, is that Congressman Hoyer deeply understands how critical libraries are. And he's been very proud to support libraries over the years. And he did prepare this certificate of congressional recognition. I don't need to read it. We all know how these things go. But I just wanted to thank you for giving me some time and allowing me the opportunity to say thank you and congratulations on the grand opening of this beautiful building. So.
Sure.
Can you come out here? Oh, yeah, come out of here. Sorry.
Real big smile. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, my hitter's up. I am takes photo. Oh yeah. Great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely.
I would now like to invite all of our elected leaders and library leaders and all of our guests today to join us out in the foyer at our welcome area for our ribbon cutting. And please be sure to join us for refreshments and tours of the library today. Thank you so much.
1, 2, 3, and 3. Go.
Wonderful.
No, not counting.